Recently, I went to see Amber Wallin perform live at Flappers in Burbank as part of her 2026 tour. I first met Amber a few years ago at one of her comedy shows, and it's been so cool seeing how much her career has grown since then. This time around, she performed all new, never-before-seen material for her stand-up set, and it did not disappoint. But what stood out beyond the performance was how intentional she was about connecting with her audience. She took the time to speak with every guest who came out to support her, making sure everybody felt seen and welcomed. There were people from all different backgrounds who came out to see her perform. And after the show, I got the chance to sit down with Amber and talk about her journey in comedy, her creative life, and what's next. Hello, so I am here today, Miylan of The Miylan Show, with the Amber Wallin. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
My name is Amber Wallin. I'm a comedian, a host, a mother. I do podcasts, and I just did a new hour of stand-up comedy here at Flappers.
So tell us a little bit about how are you feeling after tonight's set?
I feel very good because sometimes, you put a lot of stuff together in your head and you're mostly just trying to memorize it, see how you flow from story to story. So I have a lot of feedback for myself, but I'm going to give it to myself tomorrow because I'm just going to celebrate putting up a new hour of comedy tonight.
Okay, that's interesting. So what is something a lot of people don't know about creating your own set?
Comedy, like other things, is you have to do bad comedy to get to good comedy. So you have to read bad books, and then you'll really know when you get a really good book. Comedy is about going on stage, screwing up a little bit, but you have to screw up to get to when it gets really, really good. And so a lot of people don't want to screw up. They want to just go up there, be good every single time. But you're like, no, I have to tell the joke bad to know what's wrong with it so I can tell it really, really good.
Even now you feel like you still have hard shows?
Not hard, but even tonight I have some stuff where I'm like, I took too long with the setup of this, or maybe I can cut this one section and put something else there. So yeah.
Mind you, she had the audience busting their zipper the whole night tonight, y'all.
Was it okay? Sometimes I'll say to myself, I told a lot of stories from childhood. Maybe one or two stories from early adulthood would be a little bit sweeter in this spot. But that's good to hear. So you could easily follow the stories. That's good.
Was there anything about tonight that surprised you?
I would actually say this is one of the first shows where I haven't practiced a ton, and that's actually a good thing. But at one point, even during the show, I remember just throwing my notebook to the ground, and I was like, let me just go wherever the joke goes, which I'm not like that. I know I play I talk a big game, I'm always oh, we're up here having fun. I'm trying to be funny without even trying. That is not true. I have taken comedy classes. I go to open mics all over the city. I really sometimes work on being really polished and really tight. And this joke goes from that time and that book. And I heard it laugh every 15 seconds. And tonight was a show where I was I got some bullet points of some things I want to do. And everything else that happens in the room, I'm going to let it happen. I felt really present with tonight's audience. I didn't get to talk to a whole bunch of people, but I distinctly remember talking to one girl about when she lost her virginity, and talking to an old man, and I sang with one girl. I remember thinking I didn't have any of that written down, but that still worked out.
Okay.
Did it work out?
I think it did.
You saw it? Okay.
I don't want to ruin the set. I don't know if I should ruin any of it, but it was pretty good. And I know tonight was a night where you gave some new material.
Yeah, it was all new.
See? I was looking forward to that.
Yay!
Was there a moment where you were like, you know what? This is exactly why I do comedy?
This is so stupid, but at one point I was on stage sweating so much, and somebody just lifted up a napkin in the front row. Mm-hmm. On the internet, you don't get to see your audience a lot. When you make comedy sketches, creating comedy sketches is basically I think Toni Morrison sometimes describes it as writing a book is walking into a dark room and holding your hand up. And someone reading that is someone in that dark room touching your hand. And so that's what kind of happens when you do comedy. You're I'm in the joke and I hope this works and I hope they can hear me. And there's something just very communal about somebody being I hear you and here's a napkin because I see your sweat. It just is I'm a human being, you're a human being, we're connected in that way. I'm laughing at you, I pay for your show, and here, bitch, you're sweating. So that was fun.
I don't know if you've heard of Walter White. Have a good night. Good night. You know who that is? The black man who was white passing and he used to investigate lynchings?
Okay, I thought we were talking about somebody from Breaking Bad. You said Walter White?
Yeah. He was a journalist, but basically he said the same thing. He wrote a few novels And he said the same thing to the effect of how it's like you're trying to get everything out that's up here. And it's like being in that dark room. And then when it all comes out, the most crushing part is how it's not exactly what you pictured in here. And it's like an art form to be able to get that out.
Or you'll think to yourself as a comic, you're like, nobody in the world is going to think this is funny, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then when other people think it's funny, like, I had a bunch of jokes tonight about Harry Potter. Harry Potter is not really relevant. We've kind of written off J.K. Rowling at this point, and people were still following me with those jokes. So that felt like really nice.
Is there a part of your story that you hope that people will remember, that they won't overlook, even when the laughs fade away? Something that you really want to be remembered about your journey in doing comedy?
I think my job as a comedian is to obviously make you laugh, but it's really to make you stop thinking about what's going on in your life that sucks. Like, my job is to relieve stress for an hour, and hopefully I do that through laughter. But even if somebody came to the show tonight and didn't laugh once, but their stress was relieved, I did my job, in my opinion. Obviously, I want the laughs, but when somebody comes with me up the show being like, oh, I was going through so much before I got here, from traffic to bills to whatever, and you made me just not even think about any of that because what you said was so ridiculous. I did my job.
Okay. I actually caught up to Ben a few years ago at the zoo. He was with the baby. He was kind of telling me about your journey, how you used to be like a yoga teacher.
Yep.
And then one day you just went for it.
I
and
did.
Never looked back.
I did.
So what was that moment where you pivoted and you were like, this is what I'm doing, Amber Wallin, before you became the brand, the experience, etc., etc.?
Life has a way of forcing you to do what you're meant to do. So I was a yoga teacher during the day, and then at the time before the pandemic, I was an understudy on this comedy show, right? And I was laid off during the pandemic, and basically low-key, like, a global pandemic said, stop working, just do your comedy. Like, because every time I tried to do a different job, it just wasn't working out. And so I was like, I've just been laid off. I'm going to take this as a sign that I just need to focus on me, my art, and my comedy. It was the pandemic forcing me to say, stop. You remember during the pandemic when we were all just like forced to just sit down and be with our thoughts?
Yeah.
And all I could do every single day was think about comedy and make funny videos with my husband. Like, I was bothering him. He was like, do we have to? I'm like, no, but this is so funny because we just had this fight. Like, I would wake up and feel compelled to write something funny. So that's when I knew I gotta do this full time. I gotta believe in plan A and stop trying to do all these other things. Also, teaching yoga in this weird way helped me with my comedy, because you are leading a room full of people for an hour. So it was doing that taught me, okay, I might be scared to get on stage and tell jokes for an hour, but wait, I have talked in a room full of people for an hour and it still worked. So I told myself the early days doing comedy, I was like, worst case scenario, I can tell a joke, it doesn't work, and I'll just tell the whole room, like, y'all feel a little too stuffy. Take a big inhale in, hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, big inhale out. Like, that would at least remind me, like, you are in command of this room. Yeah.
That sounds like conviction, girl, because I had the same thing with journalism, and now we are in the same room for the third time.
Yep.
We've run into each other multiple times, you guys. Anyway, thank you for speaking with me. Could you tell us maybe what's next and where we can find you to support you?
Ooh, I don't know who's gonna see this and where you're gonna see, but please follow Burr I Am. That's BURR_IAM. I am touring all the rest of this year, all the rest of next year. I don't know when you're seeing this, but I'll probably be touring. And I'm hopefully recording a special next month. So stay tuned.
All in all, it was a great night of comedy connection and getting a closer look at the animated, unafraid to go there comedian and comedy sketch connoisseur, Amber Wallin, beyond the laughs. I'm glad you got to see more of Amber's story and what's coming up next for her. And if you want to see Amber perform live, check out the rest of her 2026 tour dates. You won't want to miss her.